All right, every now and then, rather than send out a free pick, which I hope to do still later this week, but I don't like to send one out unless I have a really clean setup. And so I don't really have that, so I'm just going to show you some charts that we are watching, some stocks that we're watching for tomorrow. Remember ENER? We called this one a while back, I think. Can't remember for sure. It might have looked like this when we called it last time. But it was somewhere around here. I said, really, if this gets up to the 540s, it looks really good. I could be wrong, though. It could have been all the way back here. I really can't remember now. But it doesn't seem like it was that long ago. Anyway, and I said if it doesn't break out, it might just meander down back to the bottom of that range. So you could look up the old video. I can't remember the date. But anyway, lo and behold, it's worked its way back up here again. Strong volume on the upside again. Strong volume back here. Strong volume as it worked its way up here and here as well. So I still think ENER has turned the corner if it gets up in the 540s. I think it's going to look real nice and might be a good longer term play. Having said that, a nice strong day on Tuesday and a high of 524. Normally I wouldn't be even looking at this the next day because it's already, if you look at most of the candles, they're all pretty narrow and it made a big move today. So it would feel like chasing normally even to call this on a break of Tuesday's high. However, when you go to the intraday chart, it made most of its move in really the first hour and a half this morning and then just consolidated the rest of the day. So stocks consolidate with pullbacks in price and or over time. So this has had some time to consolidate. So I will be watching this tomorrow. I have potential catalyst price of 525. If the market opens normal and this one opens somewhere around 520 or 517 where it closed, I'll probably buy some if it gets to 525, knowing on my notes I already have this written down. 531 would be a high of that November 12th high. So that's a secondary catalyst. So again, 525, 531, and then if you go over here, you have a couple spikes, the high of which is 538. So 539 is also another potential catalyst. And if you get above all three of those, then this spike back here was in the 580s. So you could get a nice measured move, kind of like I said last time. But I'm not sending that out as a free pick. It's just one of the stocks on our watch list. We have several, and we'll add some in the pre-market when we see gappers. And once the market opens, in our live chat room, we all scan together. And if I find a high volume sell-off, I'm teaching people how to play those and try to catch an intraday reversal. You've seen those in a lot of our videos where we catch stocks within 10 cents of the low of the day and are able to ride it up the rest of the day. So kind of one of the things we do, but not everything. So some other stocks we have on watch: NG for a potential bounce. Now these aren't automatic buys. They're daily charts that have been down a few days in a row, usually to an area of support. And if they can trade in somewhat of a narrow range on Wednesday and then break that narrow range as high, and you've seen our bounce play videos too, I'm sure, then we'll buy the break of that early range if it does it to the upside. So NG, Akamai, Dean Foods, that was our free pick last week. Remember we sent that one out when it looked like this and it ended up giving that big pop? Well, a nice 2-day run and then on lower volume a 2-day pullback. So that's actually on our bounce play watch list. If it can trade in a narrow range on Wednesday and then break that early ranges high, it could get kind of a second wave up. Green Mountain Coffee, not the prettiest daily chart here. Gap down, and then a couple of weekdays, but it did get narrow on Tuesday. Let's go to 15s here. And, the day gap down, it didn't break its early high. When I say early, 15 or 30 minutes, these are 15-minute candles, so it didn't break its 15-minute high. The very next day, it didn't break its 15-minute high. Now it's in more of a narrow range and still didn't break its, when I say it's 15-minute high, I mean it's opening 15-minute high from the first 15 minutes of trading. So, one of these days, even maybe Wednesday, if it does that, you might get a nice bounce. You get that crowd jumping in saying, hey, I knew GMCR was overdone to the downside, and you get shorts starting to cover too. The people that are shorted after this gap down, if it starts to break its early high, a lot of times that's where the stops will be for shorts too, so they'll have to buy it back to cover. Another interesting bounce play setup. It's only a couple days. Usually I like to have at least 3 days down, but Expedia does have support pretty close to the left here. It did bounce off this 25 area, so this may trade down early and give us a nice intraday turn. COV on long watch, nice pop today. Tuesday, that is. I'm making this video on Tuesday night. Nice pop. So we might catch a second wave, if you will, and we'll look for a potential entry like we teach, a low-risk entry. And again, you've seen low-risk entries in our videos, so we won't take anything unless we get a low-risk entry. Foster Wheeler, which we were watching all day today for a potential short, finally ended up putting in a red day. If I zoom out here, back out on the chart, you can see a couple times way back here last fall. It had trouble with the 34 area, pierced it once, but each time it really rolled over, and it's made almost a straight up climb to get there. So this one is overbought and should be on short watch as well. I didn't catch a decent short in it today, but a red candle, you could get some follow through tomorrow or later this week. So that's on short watch. And that's really the short, kind of a long list for what I usually start with. But anyway, that's the list from tonight for our live trading chat room members. And again, we'll add some in the morning when we find gappers and so on. But this was not, don't count this as our free pick. We'll try to find one. Again, I want to find a better chart to send out as a free pick. So this is just a list, kind of giving you an idea of some of the things we build our nightly list with. And we'll follow up tomorrow night if we traded any of these and what we did. So have a good night, and we'll talk to you later.